Okay. Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. And a good Sunday. Watched the game film again on Sunday a couple times through. Saw, really kind of on the offensive side of the ball, first 6 possessions, which was what we had at half. We scored on 3 of the 6, fumbled the ball on the 7-yard line. Missed the ball down the sideline to T-Mac and missed the ball on 3rd and 11 to Dorian. Other than that, I think that we moved the ball pretty much the way we wanted to in that first half. First opening drive, first and goal on the 7-yard line, put the ball on the ground, get a stop, drive down, get a field goal. And then series 3 and 4, we had, I think, a 6-play series and a 9-play series. And then series 5, we scored a touchdown. And series 6, we kicked a field goal. So pretty happy with overall kind of how we moved the ball. Disappointed that we didn't score. I think that we probably were in a position to be able to get 20 or 27 points there in the first half and didn't. Only ended up with 13. And then in the second half, drove down the first drive. Had Jacob Cowling on a choice route, which he ran a beautiful route, was wide open there, and we wound up getting the ball tipped up in the air and picked. And that's kind of when the game went sideways. I think that it went from 35-13, driving down to 42-13, and then we drove down to the 14-yard line, had a sack fumble. So that was disappointing offensively. Overall, we can be much better than that. I expect us to be able to finish those drives in the end zone and not turn the ball over twice inside the 15. Defensively, really, what we got from them was kind of what everybody's gotten from them. Went back and looked. Washington State let up 624 yards against them, 178 yards rushing. Stanford, 515 yards, 351 yards rushing. BYU, 439 yards, 212 yards rushing. And we let up 550 yards, 300 yards rushing. So they are what they are. They're a very, very good outfit right now. They're playing at a very, very high level. And we are doing everything we can to build our program to be able to have the years of sustained success that they have right now. They have certainly had years upon years of recruiting very, very good players, very, very big players, very, very strong players, and have done a great job year in and year out of continuing to be in the top 10, I believe, in recruiting. So we're going to continue to build our program up in that same regard. And as we're building it, we know that there's going to be some lumps that we have to take. And we're looking forward to the opportunity this week to go play Washington and see how much better we can get.
When you watched the game second and third time and looked at Jaden's footwork, fundamentals, et cetera, was that what was causing some of the accuracy issues in your mind, or was it something else?
Yeah, I think we certainly weren't. We started rushing passes. We started kind of half rolling when we didn't need to half roll. We hurried on some balls that we threw to the running backs, which were really unnecessary hurries. We let a ball fly to Dorian. We overstrided and pushed up in the pocket and took a huge, almost crow hop into the throw rather than throw with the balance that he normally throws with. So I think that there was probably, we could certainly definitely point to fundamentally he wasn't as sharp as normal. I think the rush started affecting him a little bit more than it needed to, and I'm looking forward to him bouncing back and having a great game this week.
What seems to be the recurring issue with the defense, in your opinion?
Well, I think I'm going to first give credit to Oregon's offense on this one. I think that they had a very good scheme. They ran the ball very well, and they threw the ball when they needed to in the perimeter. And I think their quarterback was 13 for 14 at halftime or something like that. Otherwise, I think defensively, when you look at how we played against San Diego State, how we played against Colorado, defensively, how we played against North Dakota State against the pass, we're all pretty good. I think we struggled, even against Mississippi State, I thought we played pretty good on defense. In the end, though, we didn't. They moved the ball better than we could stop them, really, against this past week. And really Cal as well, but I think it was a 2 different type game. This one was more along the lines of, they got better angles on it than we had. We didn't find a way to get into the gaps the way we wanted to. We weren't able to we weren't able to take them out of any rhythm. And when you can't take a team out of rhythm, you wind up putting yourself in a position where you're always behind the eight ball. And that's what it felt like, that it was 2nd and 2 and 3rd and 1 and 2nd and 3 or 1st and 10. So you can kind of call what you want. And when you can call what you want, as a play caller, you have a big advantage over the defense.
Is it to recruit elite linemen?
Offensive linemen, defensive linemen, or just linemen in general, I would say finding big is hard. You have to find big. I think creating big once they get here is not very easy to do. So you need to find the body types, both up on the offensive line and defensive line, guys in the trenches that are built a certain way in high school. Like Big Jonah, Big Jonah is Big Jonah, and that body type that he came out of high school gives us the best chance to have an elite offensive lineman. Jordan Morgan, very similar to that. On the defensive side, the Jacob Kangaikas, the Tai-Tais, those guys that are the young freshmen that are just built a certain way. Tai-Tai's a DN play at 260 pounds. Those are the guys that you can continue to build because you not only need size, but you need flexibility, wiggle, athleticism that go along with it. So it's always going to be a big challenge. I really like all of our young O-line and D linemen, and I think that we have an outstanding group that wants to come in here and help us immediately.
Do you find that there's been a little bit of a trend on the West Coast, specifically in California, that high school linemen are kind of getting smaller?
Yeah, I made a comment, I forget it was a year ago or 2 years ago maybe, but it's, you could certainly see how the health on the West Coast has affected the size of some of the high school players. And I think that's a real thing. I think it's a real thing. I think that you could, the food that's served in the cafeterias, the opportunities, what kids are eating nowadays on the West Coast and California and whatnot, they are not as big as they once were. And if you go look at the Southeastern Conference, they're still serving some good food, I guess, down there.
With the difficulties that the defense has had, does it put extra pressure on the offense to score every time and can't afford to miss any opportunity?
I think what it comes down to is that I talked to our offense about this yesterday, is that the expectation is to score every time. And when you're an offensive player, you only worry about and only control the offense. So it does not matter what's going on the other side of the ball, and it does not matter if they score or if they don't. On our offense, we expect to be able to move the ball and score. And we're going to do everything we can to not raise the anxiety level of having to score, and just talk to them about if you are doing your job and executing, not turning the ball over, then you should be able to move the football. And I think our skilled players have proven that they can do that.
The thing that I'm just hearing the most after the game is if you had just scored on both of those first two possessions, how different of a game do you think it is?
I don't know. We did score a field goal on the second possession. If it was 10-0 instead of 3-0 or 14-0, I don't know. I don't know what that would have looked like. I don't know what it felt like. I know that we had a ruckus fan base that would have loved it. I know the stadium would have been going crazy for it. And so would we have. But unfortunately, that happens sometimes, and you put the ball on the ground. And what we've talked to our team about is when that does happen, when you play complementary football, and our defense did it, they got to stop right after we put the ball on the ground and we got the ball back. And what we need to do is then we need to score and then get another stop and score again. Find a way to get 2 scores. We haven't done that this year. We haven't been able to. I know we did last week, but for the most part, San Diego State, we did it. Last week we did it. But there's been times, like the Cal game would have been a great situation where it's 24-21 at halftime and we have the ball to make it a 10-point game, to try to find a way to get to the double-digit lead. And that's what we're working really hard at, to be able to try to like you said, the first 2 possessions get scores rather than just, even in Colorado, we scored a touchdown and then they scored a touchdown, then we scored a touchdown. To be able to make it then 19-7, to try to continue to do that.
The play where Jacob fumbled wasn't the only time you've done that thing where they huddle and then they run up to the line and snap it quickly. What is that called? What that machination called, and what is the idea behind doing that?
Yeah, we probably speed break 6 to 8 plays a game. We've done that at the Rams. You can see the Packers do it. You can see the 49ers do it. You can see the Bengals do it. We've done it every game. We do it. It's an opportunity. Gus Malzahn, I remember back in 2012 when Gus Malzahn was at Arkansas State, and I went and visited with him, and he was talking about their speed breaks, which they still do today. And it's just it's a way to have a different tempo of breaking a huddle where you don't have to go on the line of scrimmage fast, but you're still able to play fast. And it gives you some alignment issues. We were in an unbalanced formation when we broke the huddle. Jordan Morgan was on the right side, not on the left side. And we had a wonderful opportunity to run the ball on that play, but the exchange wasn't clean.
Was Mike Wiley able to practice yesterday?
Mike practiced limited yesterday, but yes, we'll have to see where he's at. I'm hopeful on Mike.
Now at the halfway point of the season, what's your assessment of just how things are going right now in the current state of the program?
Yeah, well, I'm excited about the build. We've talked about, trusting the process of getting better. Last year at the halfway point, we were 0-6. This year we're 3-3. We've had some really good games. We've played good football. I went back and looked. Last year we were 101st in offense. This year we're 60th. Last year we were 104th in passing. This year we're 10th. Last year we were 114th in third down. This year we're 25th. Our red zone offense is far better. We're giving up less explosive plays than we gave up. We have more turnovers at the halfway point, or takeaways, at the halfway point this year than we had all of last year. I believe that we're going in the right direction. We have a lot of recruits that want to be a part of our program. We have a lot of people that want to be here. We're also, and I've said it from the beginning, we were also at the very, very beginning stages of where we want to take it. We want to build this program into a championship level program, into a program that we see Oregon at right now, or Utah. To get there, it has to take consistent recruiting classes, consistent development of your current roster. Players need to stay. Players need to get bigger, better, stronger. Coaches need to stay. You need consistency. I went back and looked at Lance Leopold at Kansas. He's had the same offensive and defensive coordinator for 13 years. And you look at, when you want to have consistency, you need it from your staff and you need it from your players. And then I believe that we're going to be able to have the type of program that all of us can remember they had here in the late 90s, and also that run there from, 2012 to 2015 or so.
More comfortable is DJ Williams now versus like when he got here in late July?
Yeah, I think he's in better shape, first and foremost, so he can play a lot more of the game. Because, that's a tough situation when you don't have a spring and then you just join here and you're trying to finish and graduate at another school and get here and miss all of spring football and summer conditioning. I think DJ and Jonah are both really improving. It was nice to see 2 explosive runs of plus 40 yards. I don't think we had that all. I think that's the first time we've had that since I've been here, that I can remember in the same game that we've had 2 runs over 40 yards. I thought DJ was a great run. I thought Jonah's at the end of the half was a great run. So I'm excited about the backs. I think DJ, Mike, Jonah, we're probably a couple weeks away from Speedy coming back. But when we can get all 4 of those guys back in the rotation, I really hope our run game can go from that 135 yards a game back up to about 160.
Jed, in the micro, how do you acknowledge the team has gotten better since last year, but you're still not to where you want to be at 3-3 to make sure that they stay focused? Because there's got to be some frustration because you guys are playing better, but probably expect more.
I'm happy with the way our team is playing right now. I think our team's happy with the way they're playing. You're going to always try to win every game you play, but we went into a team. We just played a team that's 5-1. Played a team that had dominant performances against everybody they've played against this year, and we felt really good about the way we played against Colorado. We lost to Colorado 34-0. We came back and we beat them 43-20. The next year, we lost to San Diego State 38-14. We came back and beat them 38-20. We played the FCS national champions who haven't lost since, and beat them at the end of the game. We put up 31 points against Cal, where a year ago we put up 10. So I think that our team is getting better. Our team has unbelievable personality traits of work ethic. They're doing fantastic in the classroom. They're doing fantastic in the community. And they're very, very young. I would guess that we're starting more freshmen than any team in the country. And I think that that's going to show in the future on how good we can become. Okay, thank you.